the escalating legal and constitutional battle over the Trump administration's deportations. A federal judge is threatening to start a contempt investigation for willful disregard of his order to halt deportation flights under a law meant for wartime. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the story. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. This is a dramatic escalation in the fight between the Trump administration and the courts. A federal judge arguing the administration defied his court order and then boasted about it in a scathing rebuke, saying willful disobedience of judicial orders without consequences would, quote, make a solemn mockery of the Constitution itself. This morning, a federal judge is threatening to open a high-stakes contempt investigation into the Trump administration for deporting more than 200 Venezuelan migrants to a notorious prison in El Salvador, despite the judge's order that they be returned to the U.S. immediately. Questioning why the administration allowed these flights last month to go ahead, Judge James Boasberg declaring the administration displayed a willful disregard for his order, determining there was probable cause to find them in contempt. The judge saying he will begin contempt proceedings if the administration does not give each deportee the chance to challenge their detention. Boasberg even proposing appointing an independent lawyer to prosecute the government for contempt. The president has boasted of the deportations, claiming without evidence that the men are all violent gang members. But the administration is facing growing backlash over the status of this man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. An undocumented migrant from El Salvador, he was living with his American wife and children in Maryland when he was put on that plane, despite a 2019 court order that he not be deported to his native country because he might face danger there. A mistake the administration previously acknowledged. In a unanimous ruling, the Supreme Court ordered the administration to facilitate Abrego Garcia's release. But the president, who is paying El Salvador $6 million to keep the migrants, says it's up to that country to send him back.
The entire purpose has been to bring Abrego Garcia home.
Visiting El Salvador, Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen says he asked the country's vice president why they're keeping Abrego Garcia.
His answer was that essentially the Trump administration is paying the government of El Salvador taxpayer money to keep this person here despite the court order.
The White House insists Abrego Garcia is a violent gang member, even though he has not been criminally convicted in the U.S. or El Salvador. In 2019, a confidential informant named him as a member of the MS-13 gang, but judges have found that evidence unconvincing. The White House now noting that in 2021, his wife obtained a temporary protective order against him, but no charges were ever filed, and that case was later closed. Now she's fighting for her husband's safe return, but the administration says that will never happen.
He is not coming back to our country. President Bukele said he was not sending him back. That's the end of the story.
The White House is standing by their actions, and just days after Trump welcomed the president of El Salvador here to the White House, Trump saying he would send even more deportees to that notorious prison if they had room. ABC News now learning that President Bukele plans to double the size of that facility.